Right, we're finally done and we're finished, so let's do our final export. Now there's only really one thing to cover in this lecture and the rest is basically saying congratulations. So let's get on with the last little bit of demonstration we need first. I'm going to go to QuickTime and H.264. I'm going to set my encoder to NVIDIA. If you don't have an NVIDIA card, that will not be an option. Native produces the same result, but albeit a little bit more slowly. So down here we have our quality setting, and I'm going to hit restrict to, and I'm going to choose about 14,000 kilobits per second in this window. YouTube recommends for 25 and 30 frames per second content that you deliver at about 10 megabits per second. That's 10,000 kilobits per second, or 10,000 kilobits, or 10,000 in this box down here. For high frame rate stuff, so 50 and 60 frames per second, it recommends 15,000 in this little box down here. Now I like to go a little bit higher because the VP92 compression can be a bit brutal sometimes. Now I recommend about 14,000 in this little box here for 1080, 25 or 30 frames per second content, and I recommend around 18,000 for 1080, 50 or 60 frames per second content. And after that we simply render out as a single clip. Make sure we have export audio checked, we don't want to make that mistake. And then we give it a name and a render destination. I'm going to call this one Jim Candy Final. Add to render queue, then select that, hit start render. So we've now finished our first project. Very well done indeed. It's always a big undertaking to take on any kind of edit project, especially if it's a drama like this, because there's a lot to be done in terms of audio, there's a lot to be done in terms of organizing our project. So I hope this was a really good grounding in the essential edit skills in Resolve, but this course does not end there. Now, if you are an early adopter and you've made it this far, you might be wondering where the rest of the content is. Don't worry. Every month I'm going to update this course with new modules and also new practical projects. So, once I've had chance to make the next module, go ahead and click on through to the next lecture once you're ready. Right, we're finally done and we're finished, so let's do our final export. Now there's only really one thing